Okay, so we are live. I hope we're live. Who we got in the chat? We've got Rega and Mrs. TEZZ. Mrs. TEZZ, are you in the chat? Hopefully she's in the chat. So this week we have got a guest, and that guest is, and I'm just going to bring him in straight away because he's going to be sitting there wondering what's going on else. BAPSTARCADE is our guest this week. I'm going to bring him in now. There he is.
Hey, how are we doing?
Right, fella? How are you today?
I'm all right, mate. I'm okay. How are you?
Thanks for joining the stream.
Oh, thanks for inviting me, mate. This is all exciting stuff.
Well, I'm thinking of everybody that I get on these early streams as victims, so I just want to prepare you. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
So we've already got Rega in the chat there. He's came along to support us, and we've got a spot from Rega later on in the episode, guys. So if anybody's tuning in later and it's a bit late because I can't see you here now, so you're definitely late, guys. Definitely late. So cheers for that, guys. You're late. Get your asses back over here. If you're not, go back, watch it from the beginning. So yeah, we've got BAPSTARCADE, and he's been in the group for a while now and had a few videos up. I'm just gonna get my notes up here. Yeah, so where are yeah, BAPSTARCADE. You into the Spectrum stuff? That's the first thing that I noticed about your channel. So we're going to speak a bit more about that later. I thought the best thing to do was start off with some YouTube Connect news, as we always do, and I'll have a quick chat about what we've got coming up on YouTube Connect and for the members on YouTube Connect. And I think here we go. The first thing is Marathon Gaming. Do you know Scott John and Marathon Gaming?
No.
No, he's on the channel. He's got he's called Marathon Gaming, and he's doing challenges at the moment. So if you're into a bit of retro challenges, especially high scores and stuff like that, I usually stick his stuff up in notifications if anybody wants to go and have a look and have a bash at that. This week he's doing a Tony Hawk's PlayStation 1 high score challenge for anybody that's interested. So I will be updating the description box later and leaving all the links for everybody to go and check out. And next bit of news, Generation Pixel. Do you know Generation Pixel?
Yeah, I've heard of that one, yeah.
Yeah, Generation Pixel is running his own YouTuber of the Month competition, and we're in the early days, it being only the 3rd. So this is the best time to go and check out his video on his YouTuber of the Month and get your votes in early if you want. Now's the best time. Ginger Hippy Gaming. We all know Ginger Hippy Gaming.
Well,
great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, once you get to know him, you can't forget him, can you? He's got a stream coming up this week called Let's Talk Retro, and that's at 8 p.m. on the 5th, which is Tuesday. And he's starting off with a guest too. So if anybody's interested in that, the details are on the notification board. Go and check him out. It's going to be great. What do you reckon?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, he's a good guy. Well, he introduced me to YouTube Connect. So, yeah.
Yeah, he invited a ton of people to YouTube Connect and was responsible for a big growth, as was Retro Chef, who goes under Doris Allen on the group. Yeah, Doris Allen also invited loads of people. So thanks to those two guys, the group has really bumped up with a lot of members, a lot of retro game members, I've got to add. So I have to keep telling everybody that it's not a gaming only group. We do have other things. It's not just games. Yeah, I mean, we've got artists and others that haven't posted in a little while have done cooking on theirs. There's vlog type stuff. We've got parkour channel. Anybody that's a small YouTuber is welcome to come and have pop their stuff down for us all to see. And this actually brings me to a point of hashtag feedback. If you want to drop your stuff on the channel and get feedback for it, drop hashtag feedback in the comments or in the actual description of the video, and somebody will give you some feedback on it. What what we had come up this week was an issue where somebody asked, why don't we add feedback on everybody's videos? And I had to point out it's a great idea, but in the early days, people got upset by unwanted feedback because they didn't like the criticism, and we lost 1 or 2 members because they didn't like that. So from now on, if anybody's interested, stick hashtag feedback in your description and somebody will give you feedback on your video. So there's that. Quick look in the chat room shows Retro Arcade Music Man's popped in.
Hey,
he was on the stream last week, so where is he? Yeah. Yeah, he seems to be well interested in Bapstarcade. He posted on the forum.
Retro
You got a fan?
Music, man. Absolutely, I'm a big fan of Retro Arcade Music Man, definitely.
Yeah, don't you love the music that he puts out on his streams? Good stuff.
I'll tell you something. He's been so supportive of my channel. Awesome guy. Awesome
He's very supportive. He's a good guy to know. And I have been for a while on YouTube Connect trying to build a bridge between the American guys and the UK guys, because I think that there's an untapped thing going on there where we should be more integrated, and we're not. It's strange that we're not as big together as we should be. Yeah, so there's a lot of tapped potential out there, and there's a lot of untapped potential here. And if we both mix it up, we're going to get those views and people interested in our channels. It's like an audience. There's a big audience over there. Loads of American guys.
Yeah, massive audience over there. Yeah,
yeah. I know a few American guys. They're all great guys. We call ourselves the Retro family. Marathon Gaming's popped in. Yeah, we was chatting. This is Marathon Gaming. We was chatting about your challenges, so that's great. Feral Inferno, he's popped in.
Hey.
It's great to have you here, Feral. He's always supportive. He's always here. What's he say? TEZZ, you're not tapping me. Yeah, he's a good lad. He likes to laugh. So that's pretty much all the YouTube news that we've got for this week. It's been a good week. There's been a lot of posts and a lot of activity, which is great. YouTube Connect works on activity. As long as people are commenting and leaving likes and dropping videos themselves, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So I'd like to be able to show you the analytics, but I've not really brought them up for YouTube Connect, and it's just gone up and up and up. So every month it's gone up a bit, which is great. And if we keep doing that, we're going to get more of a little audience going for everybody's videos. I'm going to be interviewing Bapstarcade for everybody in a few minutes, but we forgot to do one thing, Bapstarcade. We didn't get the 5 nominations for your shout outs, or have you noted them down?
I have, yeah, I've got them on my one of
absolutely
my
brilliant, because I wasn't sure whether you had them or not, so we can go ahead and give them some shout outs in a few moments. I got a little bio of you here. I'm just going to read out a few bits so everybody gets to know who Bapstarcade is. His channel consists of gameplay videos, full retro modern, covers a lot of stuff. He's done a fair old few reviews and video podcasts, and he likes to meet and attend events and meet people face to face. He loves to support other channels and collaborate with other people. He's into his TV, his movies, his Star Trek, his music. What does he say here? He loves his Spectrum and his computer generated music and metal as well. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff. I'm going to go into a couple other bits I'm going to keep secret for a while. But apart from the 3 cats, the 3 cats must drive you mad. I've got 2, mate, and they drive me mental.
Oh, mate, I love my cats, and they've all got their own personality. I've got one cat called Atari, of course.
Nice.
And he's absolutely huge, and he follows me around like a little dog. And then I've got a cat called Suki, and she's a black cat, and she was named after Suki Stackhouse from True Blood.
Right.
And then we've got another cat called Ripley, and obviously she's named after Ripley from Aliens. Yeah.
It's kind of strange. I've got a cat called Man, I gave them two names. So my cat's called Nico Belle, after Nico Bellic.
Yeah.
And we've got another cat who's a ginger one, and we called him Fanta Pants.
Fanta Pants. Oh.
Fanta Pants. I don't know why, it just rhymed. So we always got used to calling him Fanta Pants, and that was that. That was his name. When we went down the vets, full name, Fanta Pants on the actual document.
Wow.
Fanta Pants, yeah, that's his name.
I like it.
So I do like. So would you call yourself a cat dad then? Yeah.
Definitely, cat daddy.
Yeah. I'm into the old cat dad. They love me. I'm proper into cats. Where was we? Some more stuff then. We have warm-up questions for every guest that we have on the stream. I think it's only fair as in a get-to-know-you sort of way. So I'm asking everybody these 6 questions. So number 1 is 6 questions. Here we go. Your favourite band or artist?
Oh man, that's difficult because I like so many different genres of music.
I'll tell you what, I'll revise it then. Like I've got the next question. Give me one of your top bands or artists, because I know it changes over time. So
okay, I'm going to have to give you 2 because because I've got 2 sides of my music, you see. So I'm going to have to say The Cure.
Okay.
And so that would be like my alternative type music. And then the electronic side, I'd have to go with Jean-Michel Jarre, definitely.
Oh, Oxygen is one of the best. It's not played enough these days, mate. I agree.
No.
Jean-Michel Jarre, yeah, it's a good choice. That is, I'll go with that. So on to the next one. It's a similar question. I'll attack you the same way. Give me one of your top 5 films.
Oh man, there's so many.
Yeah, so many. That's what I mean. You've got to have a top 5 at least. I know they keep changing every now and again. That's the issue.
They do, because again, there's different genres in the comedies, horrors. So top 5.
You don't have to give me your top 5. It's just one of your top 5.
One of them. It's going to have to be a film that if it's ever on, I have to watch it, and that's got to be Aliens. It's got to be.
All right. So I suppose you've seen the special edition too, then.
Yeah. So
once you've seen the special edition, it's really hard to go back and watch the other version.
You can only watch the special edition version.
So I suppose, like, if you're really into Aliens in that way, you've seen all of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the assembly cut of Alien 3?
Oh, you know what? Have I seen that? I do like Alien 3. That one gets panned quite a lot, but I enjoyed Alien 3.
It does, but there is there's an assembly cut hanging around somewhere on the internet that it's got, I think, an extra 38 minutes. It's really that extensive.
Oh, wow. Okay.
From what I mean, there was a lot of problems in the making of that film. The director basically walked out at the end and says he didn't want anything to do with it. But there is a lot of material to go with that film. So there is a different story with different images and so on. So if you're really into it, check it out.
I just liked the fact that they got no weapons and they had to deal with it.
So being an Alien fan, I bet you were annoyed that they didn't bring back Ripley with the latest set of Alien films like they were going to, because that guy Neil was it Neil Blomquist was going to direct it? Was it the same guy that did the same guy that did District 9?
I love his films. They're definitely
he was going to do a version. He was going to bring Hicks back as well. He had all the artwork out.
Oh, okay. So he was going to do In Between Aliens and Alien 3 then? Yeah.
So we're going to discount Alien 3 completely and go from Aliens onwards and reinvent the story as if Alien 3 never happened, which would be brilliant. there is an untapped story there. So, but they didn't do it, so that's out of the question. So we'll go on to the next one, which is least favorite food.
Oh, tomatoes.
Yeah, I hate tomatoes too. Do you like ketchup though?
Love ketchup. Love tomato soup. Love pizza. Yeah, anything with tomatoes in it, I love. I just don't like a raw tomato. Yeah.
Raw tomatoes horrible. I agree, mate. I agree. Number 4 in the questions would be, what's your dream car?
Oh, Bugatti Veyron.
Oh, the Bugatti Veyron. I've actually got that in one of my early videos when I was trying to do shorts. It's laughable, but it's there. Well,
either that or a Tron bike, but I can't get one of them. So
I don't think anyone can get one of them. So this is a bit more divisive, and for the nerdier people in the chat, Star Wars or Star Trek, or both or none.
You know what? I've always loved them both, but the way they've both gone now, it'd be difficult. I'm actually watching the Orville now, which I love.
Yeah. Oh, Seth's brilliant. I love him. His Family Guy stuff and American Dad, and the Orville, like some of the stuff on that cracks me up.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Rogue One. Mandalorian was brilliant. Boba Fett was okay. Obi-Wan was.
Don't say that. We all loved Obi-Wan. That's divisive. That is. That's going to get a comment.
Yeah, I'm sure it will do. I like Darth Vader in it. There was some silly bits in Obi-Wan, but I watched it because it was Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, it's Star Wars. It's always silly bits, ain't it? I mean, the Mandalorian and especially Boba Fett was a bit silly. Yeah. Well, I mean, we've got Grogu and a new Darth Vader, so that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to pick, I think if you asked me which one would I totally go with, then it'd probably be Star Trek, but it'd be old Star Trek. Yeah.
Old Star Trek. So we're talking the OG series, Star Trek.
Original series. Voyager was my favourite, actually. I love Voyager.
All right. Yeah, Voyager were good fun. I watched all of the original series, Next Generation, and Voyager, but didn't manage to watch all of Deep Space Nine. So that's where I sort of stood.
Yeah,
I thought just Deep Space Nine got a bit political at times and was a bit boring, missable.
Yeah.
Whereas for Voyager had like some good stuff on it and reminded you more of the Next Generation format.
Yeah. Yeah,
and of course it had the Borg, so that was
one of my favourite enemies of all time. Definitely,
and the Borg, brilliant.
Yeah.
And my kids hated Star Trek. They hated the fact that their dad was into Star Trek. As soon as the Borg came along, they were into it 100%. They were sold, mate. Been into it ever since. They loved First Contact. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Tried to show them Wrath of Khan, and they were like, "No, Dad, this is crap."
Wrath of Khan, that's probably one of the best Star Trek movies there is. Yeah.
Did you know there was a remaster that came out recently of the first film, the motion picture, which I was actually thinking of trying to get my hands on because it's it's got the director's extra bits on it. So that's a few minutes extra, plus all the work has been redone, all the graphics have been redone. Vija and the graphic for Vija has been totally reshot, redone in the background. So it looks, I mean, originally it looked great. So now it's going to look epic. So yeah, try that out if you're a fan.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll move on to the last one, which is Marvel or DC, both or none.
Wow. Okay. I'd have to, even though, oh man, that's so difficult.
It is a tough one.
I'm going to have to say DC, but when it comes to Marvel, I loved Iron Man, the original Iron Man. I wasn't so much for the rest of the films, if I'm perfectly honest. Blade for me was an amazing, but before Marvel was Marvel,
Right.
the original Blade with Wesley Snipes, absolutely amazing film. Loved it.
It was more risky, weren't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But
apart from the third
DC's
one.
got my Batman, so and Superman.
Yeah, I have to agree. In a lot of ways, I'm a bigger DC fan than I am Marvel. I mean, I'm Superman all the way. I know everyone goes for Batman, and I'm a big soppy git, like, because I go for Superman. All his problems, and everybody says like Superman's too strong, therefore you can't be number one. But I disagree. But yeah, I love the DC stuff.
So yeah, I'd have to go with DC. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I agree with you. Do you collect any graphic novels or anything like that?
The only graphic novel series that I started to collect was The Walking Dead.
Right.
I really enjoyed that series.
I got my son bought me the Watchmen double edition graphic novels for Christmas, which was absolutely great. I'm starting off a small collection of graphic novels. The only problem is I'm keeping them wrapped in the plastic that they came in. The wife won't understand why I won't open them and read them. I said, I've read them before. She says, why do you want them then? Because. Just because.
They're just collector's pieces.
So that was your 6 questions out of the way. So hopefully like people get to know you a little bit from them. We did talk about some shout outs at some point. So you've got a list in your mind of people that you'd like to shout out. And what we can do is you can give me the addresses of these people that I don't know what you're going to shout out at the moment. So you can tell me where they are later and I'll add them to the description box so everybody can go and visit.
You know some of these. Trust me.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
So the first one is Wayne Retro Robbins.
Wayne Retro Robbins.
Yeah, he's my first shout out.
So that's is he one of your go-to guys then? You switch on every day and like look for his stuff.
Yeah, he's a local guy to me. We've done a couple of collaborations as well. He's well into his spectrum, but he's just a real nice guy. So that's one of them. Second one, you want the second one?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. We all know him, Ginger Hippie Gamer.
And we've mentioned him a couple of times already. He's getting really famous, this guy, amongst the community.
Well, he introduced me to obviously the channel and yourself. So how can I not give him a shout out?
Yeah, he's a genuinely nice guy, and I'd chat him every week if I could.
Yeah. So number 3 would be TEZZ Rowland.
Our TEZZ, the other TEZZ, the one with only one Z. I'm just pointing that out. He's only got one Z in his name.
Yeah, love his videos. Real good fun.
Does a lot of streams as well. He plays the Spectrum games on his streams. I popped in, this morning I think.
Yeah,
this morning. Yeah, I popped in. He does the Sunday stream, and then he streams throughout the week as well. So it's all Spectrum stuff as far as he's concerned. Well, apart from the Star Wars, he's a bit of a Star Wars nerd.
He is. I just love it. I love his style. His thumbnails are really good, and he just comes across as a funny guy.
Yeah, he does.
He's entertaining, really engaging. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've only just started watching his stuff and getting into it, and starting to know who he is on a sort of chatty level. So he's a great guy. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So number 4, I don't know if you've heard of this guy, Retro Arcade Music Man. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Oh, geez. Somebody mentioned Retro something ages ago. Yeah, it might be this guy that pops up in the chat every now and again.
Might be. Now he's got to have a shout out because the amount of support I've had off him. Whenever I've joined his streams or his videos, Yeah, he's got one of those voices as well, hasn't he? I'm going to talk about Mr. Retro Arcade Music Man. He's just got that perfect mic voice for me. Real
Do you
good.
know, that's one of the first things I said to him. I said, you sound like you're off the radio, mate.
Yeah.
He does. He's got one of those really good radio type voices. And if you do manage to catch his streams, for you guys in the chat that want to go and visit Retro Arcade Music Man, and by the way, put your link up in the chat, mate. It is a community stream, so anybody that visits the chat is welcome to put their link up in the chat, so others that visit later can just click on and go to. So yeah, throw your links up in the chat, guys. Yeah, he does. He works hard for the community, Retro Arcade Music Man. I agree with you. He's a great guy, and he's a good shout out, mate.
Yeah. And number 5 is Steve Judson, Retro ReFix.
Oh, Retro ReFix. He was our first guest. He's a great guy.
Oh, brilliant. I love his channel. He caught me with his intro music. It's a Sanction remix. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I really like his channel. And again, he just comes across as a real nice guy. And
he is. He's a nice bloke to speak to in real life as well.
Yeah,
sort of get on with him instantly.
Yeah,
he's got such a rich, interesting story too. I mean, he goes diving.
Oh wow!
The shipwrecks and so on. We only spoke about it briefly during the interview, but I found it like I said, mate, that's not a hobby, that's an adventure. You know, we rarely get to do anything that adventurous in life, do we?
No.
So that was very interesting. Yeah, so I'm kind of jealous at the same time when you're talking to people and you think, God, I'd love to do that. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to you about some of your early videos and basically why did you get into YouTube in the first place? I mean, I guess it wasn't YouTubing back when you started, it was just making videos. So what interested you about putting yourself out there, reviewing computers and so
on? Well, before I started the channel that you know now, BAPSTARCADE, it originally started off as just me and my son playing Minecraft, recording that, doing a few little intros, and he just used to love watching them back. And we did about 12 or 13 episodes. And then one of my favourite games came out, Elite Dangerous. So I started doing recording for that, and started up a little channel with my commander name, which is Commander Bapster.
That's the Elite Dangerous channel.
That's my Elite Dangerous channel, yeah. So I did that, and then in 2019, I basically set up. I went to a convention that I've been to 5 or 6 times before, called LaveCon, and that's all to do with Elite and the sci-fi world, if you like, games and board games and that kind of stuff. And they had a retro room, and I asked if I could take a load of my gear with me, and I basically set up loads of machines, you know, Mega Drives, SNESes, N64s. There was a Wii there, old retro computer. So set all that up with another guy called Stephen Usher, and we had our own retro stroke arcade room where people were coming in and they were playing all the games, and that was really where BAPSTARCADE was born. I had to come up with a name, and then when I got back, I was like, you know what, I enjoyed doing that. Let's go for this. Let's start YouTube and see where we go.
That's fascinating, really, because there's people making good money doing that now with those arcades. They're popping up in places all over the place where they're not just regular arcades. They are actually aimed at retro gamers that go there and have meetups and so on and play the games, and they're making good money. So you kind of did it earlier before it was cool to be doing it. Yeah, it's the thing now. Everybody's doing it. I mean, I was talking to I think Retro Arcade Music Man.
Oh.
You've dropped off. Your screen's dropped off there. You can still hear me, bud?
Yeah, still here. 1 second. Someone's just
No worries.
I'll
carry on. I was talking to Arcade Music Man, Retro Arcade Music Man, and one of the videos on his channel is of him visiting a pinball arcade, which has it's just dedicated to retro guys, and these places are coming back, and they are going to be making big money. Retro is coming back in a big way for, I think, maybe a third wave right now. It feels like that to me, at least a third wave. So I've done a lot of research on your channel this week, and I've obviously watched as many videos as I at the time to. And one of the videos that I have to point out for everybody in the chat, and that everybody that comes to your channel has got to check out, is the one I'm pointing out here at the bottom, the one with the red video cassette. If you want to see BAPSTARCADE doing what we're doing now at an early age, go and check that video out, guys.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was still up.
Yeah, you know what's on that video. And it's not just that. It's not just that. There's another video I do want to give special mention to, and that is the video using an Amiga for your band Amiga on stage. If anybody in the chat wants to go and see BAPSTARCADE with his long hair during his rock days, I think that's about it. You've only put there's only a couple of embarrassing things. I didn't want to pull them out and just throw them up for everybody. But if they want to go and visit and have a look, that's where you go. Go and visit BAPSTARCADE and check it out, because those are hilarious, really. You must look back on them now.
That first video that you pointed out.
How old were you there?
Oh, I was 15. And it was it was an English project that myself and my mate at the time, Simon Berry, we had to think of something to do, and we was like, oh no, let's see if we can borrow a video camera. And at the time it was this massive, it was absolutely huge, this camera was. It was even before the ones where you put the VHS tapes in, and it just got a cable straight to your video.
So are we talking early 90s at this point?
No. So you're talking
80s,
yeah.
Yeah.
Late 80s. So you could almost say that was our first ever YouTube retro video, Atari versus Amiga.
Yeah, it's a good watch. Like, if you want to go back and see what it was like to record in those days, it weren't easy. Not as easy as it is now.
Oh, the quality was terrible.
Yeah. So I wanted to just mention to everybody that we do have a sponsor this week, and as per the rules of sponsors, I've got to play their video. So we had to get the guys in the studio to throw something together, and here it is. That was so horrible. I don't know what happened there. That just decided to play the most horrible way that I could imagine that it would play, after testing as well and it still plays like that during a live stream. That is just terrible. That is. Now I don't know what to do. I will, of course, release that extra on the group so anybody can go and check it out. I'm sure everybody got the idea from that juttering little piece of film that just came up. That's hilarious. That's how these live streams go, though, mate. It's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
That it seems incredibly amateurish, but oh dear. I was wondering whether I should play it on the screen rather than as a video, but I don't know. That just came out horrible, and I've got other videos as well to play.
Oh, well, we got to experiment, haven't we? So
yeah. Well, I've got. Do you know? Let me do this again, because I think it's only fair that I get it on the actual screen so people can see it properly. I want to see if it works this way, because it's such a good ad. I actually took at least best part of 3 days making it. It's just everything runs slow with my StreamYard, so I need a faster computer. So let me just get it up on my big screen and I'll make it work. Right, okay. I've got it up on my big screen. I'm going to give this one more shot, guys. Here we go. Ah, that's better, isn't it?
it's got no sound now.
Oh, it's got no sound. That's so terrible. Right, okay, I'm scrapping that. Anybody that wants to see it can come to the group and see it. Means you'll have to sign up. It's just the way it is. Sorry. I've got 2 more videos to put up as well. I'm hoping it doesn't do that again. That is so bad. I don't know what happened. Maybe if I dump mine and your picture off the screen and do it that way, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Where were we anyway? We was talking about your early videos. I wanted to chat about your early days with the Amiga and music. I noticed that you're into, you've put a couple of videos up with Amiga demos and stuff like that, which is something that I was into back in the day. And I suppose a lot of people that are into retro gaming and Amiga were impressed by the demos back then. It gave you a view into what they're going to be able to do in the future with these machines.
Yeah.
So you used it. You use the music for your band, and as you do have recordings yourself, so you're really into the Amiga music. Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people know me for loving the Specky, but I think the 128K Specky was my last Spectrum that I had, and then I moved over to the Atari ST and pretended that it was better than the Amiga. Saw my mate's Amiga. I think it was Menace, the first game I ever saw by Psygnosis, and absolutely blew me away. Eventually I got myself an Amiga and started to learn to use noise tracker and tracking music. Right. And absolutely loved it, because I was always into music anyway. Just started writing music, pretending that I was writing music for games, if you like.
Right.
And then as the years went on, started to use Pro Tracker. And I think I got rid of the 500, and then I went over to an Amiga 600, because it had more RAM, and then you could buy RAM expansion for it.
Yeah.
And knock it up to 2 meg, a whole 2 meg of memory.
The 2 meg, yeah. See, I went exactly the same way. Yeah. I went 500, 600, and then eventually to the 1200.
Mm.
I love the Amiga.
And then I went to so I'd already wrote absolutely loads of different tunes and music, and I started college and met up with this guy called Tim, who said he was in a band. We got we became friends, started going out and whatever. And then on this one occasion, I just played some of the music to him, and he was like, "Oh, that's really good. Do you want to come and meet my other mate?" And went round his house, showed him all my music. He just picked about 8 or 9 songs, and he was like, "Right, we've got a set now." And I was like, "Oh, right, okay."
So
and
you,
then
you basically had a synthesizer option in your own home to have with the group, and the fact that you played guitar as well.
Well, at the time, the only synthesizer I had was my Amiga. That was it.
Yeah.
It was all played on that. I couldn't play guitar at this time, so our first gig, I basically went on stage. They played all my music. We replaced the drums with a drum machine, and then we basically sang and played guitars to that music. But I had to turn my guitar down and stand at the back because I couldn't play guitar.
Right.
I was just responsible for all the music, I think, apart from about 3 songs. So after that first gig, everybody loved us, and I was like, "Oh man, I've got to learn to play guitar now."
How are you on the guitar now?
I'm okay. I ain't played for ages, but I got better. Put it that way. I got better.
I played guitar for a while. I've got a video up on my channel of me playing "Comfortably Numb" by Pink Floyd, which is not an easy one. You know, the solos. I was really into the solo type stuff.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple of electric guitars hanging around myself, mate.
The weird thing is, I never practiced playing other people's stuff. The way I learned to play guitar was I just used to put there was one particular video, The Cure in Orange on VHS, and I used to put that on, and I just used to pretend to play along to it. So basically I'll be freestyling guitar, and making it fit into the songs that we're playing, and that's pretty much how I learned how to play guitar. Didn't have any lessons or anything.
No, I had to go to the library and get books out with chords in. That's how long ago it was when I learned to play guitar.
I had a little leaflet with a guitar that I had that showed you a few chords. That was it.
Because it was ages before that stuff became available to me. When
I
started, I was about 13 when I started to learn to play guitar, and you had to go to the library if you wanted to know chords. No internet, none of that.
Yeah, well,
or buy a video.
That's it exactly. But yeah, I didn't really start playing guitar properly until I left that band where I used the Amiga, and then I started up my own band called Smite, and that was when I had to learn how to play guitar then, pretty much, because didn't use the Amiga at all then.
Is it something that you're still interested in, making music? Do you still do it?
Yeah, it is. I've fired up the Amiga a few times and put Noise Tracker on, just to have see what I can remember. And there's some software on the Spectrum Next called Next Door. So I'm trying to learn how to use that at the moment. So because that interests me, chick music.
Right. So you can output that as a MIDI, yeah. You remember the old MIDI file format?
Yeah, well, a lot of musicians were having the Atari ST back then, weren't they? Because it got built-in MIDI.
Yeah. You can plug like so many types of keyboards into them, like, and control them like that.
Yeah. The thing is, you can do everything everything's just been self-contained virtually in software now. Virtual cables. You can basically create an entire studio on a laptop now, which to me that's took a lot of the fun out of it. I like to see the physical electronics and the cables, and it's just, I suppose it's what you get used to, isn't it? A bit more old school.
Yeah, if you're old school like us, like
Yeah.
there's so much stuff on your channel that I've had to go through. I mean, you do cover a lot of stuff. Um, one of the things that I got quite interested in is you did a double video of a table build. Do you remember that?
Oh, there was I think there was 3 videos, wasn't there? 3
Oh yeah,
parts.
3, that's right.
Yeah, 3 parts to a Raspberry Pi arcade table, I suppose. Yeah.
You still have that, do you?
Yeah, it's actually well, I was making them and selling them, but I've got
Oh,
one,
right.
got one there.
Oh, cool.
And that's basically a Raspberry Pi 3. It's an IKEA table and joystick buttons and the controller, all off eBay.
So it does. When I watch the videos back, you make it look so easy. Like I was thinking, oh, I'm going to do that next week. Then obviously, like, because it's so easy. But I mean, it does take a lot to make these things. Is this part of your modding stuff? You do a lot of modding with the Spectrum and other machines, I should imagine. Is it all part of the same thing, the Raspberry Pi, in that you've got quite a technical knowledge on these things? Like, what got you into the modding scene, really?
Just seeing what everybody else does, I suppose. I just love I've always loved messing since the days of being a kid and messing around with things I shouldn't be, like power supplies, and nearly electrocuting myself and getting thrown across my bedroom. And yeah.
So you've actually had a shock then?
Oh, I had a bad one. I don't know how old I would have been. I was still in me. How old would I have been? Might have been about 10.
Right.
And I do remember opening up a power supply to something. And I don't know why I touched what I did with. It must have been with a screwdriver. Luckily, it got a plastic handle.
Yeah.
And it literally, I remember it going down my arm and almost my arm feeling like lead, and then it just literally blew me across into my bedroom door.
It does. I've actually had a shock myself from an old video recorder, because I used to fancy myself as a bit of a fixer of video recorders. And like the screwdriver was in the wrong place. I touched something and I was touching the metal. Pretty much the same. It had a plastic handle on, like you're saying, and it does have that feeling like all of a sudden your arm becoming like a lead weight and then getting yanked from your shoulder. That's what it felt like to me. Horrible feeling.
It was very scary. It really was.
It's a good job. Like most things come with these 12-volt adapters these days.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've had a few of them as well while I've been twizzling them, like and connecting wires, and you've accidentally put one in your mouth with one of those connectors. Have you done that? That gives you a bit of a tingle.
Well, you can put your tongue on a 9-volt battery, can't you, and get a nice tingle.
Yeah, it's a bit more of a tingle than that, just a little bit more, but yeah, it is a good tingle. Yeah. Other things that I wanted to mention as well, apart from you spoke earlier about the Elite Dangerous game and your channel now. Are you still playing that?
Oh, mate, I absolutely adore that game. The original first time I saw Elite was originally on the BBC, which I didn't have. The only BBC computer that I remember, probably the first computer I ever saw, was it was a primary school, and it was wheeled in on a little trolley with a TV, and you got to play on a maths game. But the first time I played Elite was on the Specky, and
David Braben, isn't it?
David Braben, yeah. I was too young to understand what was going on really then.
Remember the music?
Yeah, yeah, the docu music. Right.
It gets
But
in your head.
it was the Amiga version that I really got into. And there was Elite Frontier 2 as well on the Amiga. That was really good. And then after that, I didn't think they'd ever make another Elite game. And then I heard about this Kickstarter for a brand new Elite game. So straight away I was on that site, and the Kickstarter had already finished. But I was just looking at these screenshots, and I was just like, this is what I imagined when I was playing the Amiga one. So in my head, Elite Dangerous was what it was.
Yeah.
And then when it came out,
what it could be in the future, you was thinking what it could be, and then all of a sudden it's there, right in front of you. This it's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I've played it before, but I've not played it extensively.
Well, I've been playing it since I want to say 2015, December 2015, and it absolutely ruined all my other games because I stopped playing them. I was just playing. Yeah. It's dangerous constantly.
You just get taken over by it.
Well, yeah, because you're in space. The ships that you fly, there's a proper flight model to them. So you can play it with a joypad or a mouse, but ideally you want these things, these sticks.
Yeah.
So you got your flight sticks, and you got your thrust there.
I do have one. Give me one moment. Let me just check. All right, that's it. I do have one. It's called the Thrustmaster. It's got both those things, and yeah, we bought it when we bought Elite, but we tried it in the combination of that and the keys. It was just so much for us at the time. We was thinking, Jesus Christ, there's how many commands? What you got to do? It seems so daunting when you first go into it. So I thought to myself, well, if I can get it on PlayStation 4 instead, the controls are going to be much easier for it. So I got it on PlayStation 4, and for some reason it just wouldn't connect. I didn't realize that one of the settings were messed up on my PlayStation that I'd changed for playing Grand Theft Auto 5 on a different DNS server. Yeah, so the DNS server wasn't set up properly. So I just thought that it was broke and put it to one side, and then realized about a year later it was because the DNS setting were broke. So I never got to play it on PlayStation 4, even though it's sitting there. I could go and play it now. I've got it on Steam as well right now. I could go and play it now. It's just, I think if I get into it, it'll just consume me too much. I don't want to do that. Yeah,
it really, there's so much to it, because it's a huge sandbox. I mean, there's 400 billion star systems for you to visit. There's a huge amount of that is what we know of mapped space, and then the engine just fills in the gaps.
So it's one of those procedural engines like you have on No Man's Sky.
It's procedurally generated.
It keeps building.
It is, but unlike No Man's Sky, Elite Dangerous engine is based on rules with our own understanding of physics and chemical makeup.
So it's based in the real world.
It's based in the real world. So you'll have huge detail with gravity and the way the light is generated in the game, the temperatures of the planets. All that is as accurate as it possibly can be, and that's what's fascinating about the game.
So I was chatting to a friend earlier who's in the chat right now, Rega, and he says, like it's up on screen now, that he was in the beta for that. He was really into that game and spoke very highly of it when I spoke with him earlier. I think he said that he actually spoke with the developers at one point, so he was quite lucky.
Well, LiveCon that I go to, you tend to have Frontier developments turn up, which is if you're into the game, that's a massive pull to that event. David Braven's never turned up though.
No.
No, he's never been. But I've got an old PC actually where in 2019 I took with me, and I just left it out in the retro room, and I got loads of commanders to just sign it. But there's a few. I've noticed there's a few of the Frontier ones on there as well. So that's pretty cool.
So you would like to meet him then at some point?
Yeah, well,
Just to fanboy out.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to say to him. It's always the same, isn't it? When if you meet somebody that you know a fanboy of. I met John Romero at one of the events in Warsaw years ago. You know, the creator of Doom.
Yeah.
And I had a picture took with him. I got him to sign my copy of Quake. But I really didn't know what to say. So I think in the end, I ended up commenting on his fashion sense, because he wore this really cool shirt. And I'm like, oh, man, I love your shirt. Because he's such a high-level programmer. I didn't have a clue what to say to him, but it was cool to have a pic took with him. And I met his wife as well. So that was, that was pretty awesome.
No, it's nice to meet some of these people. Brings everything down to earth. I did want to show since somebody asked a question.
Yeah.
Have you tried the VR?
I'm a big fan of VR. I was an early adopter actually of VR. I started off with oh Christ, what was it called? Google Cardboard, and you had to make it yourself.
I remember them.
Yeah, so I had that, and then I had the I play tested a development kit 1 at one of the shows, and they were showing off the original Half-Life 2, but it was all development stage, and it made you sick within 5 minutes of having the headset on. So going back to Elite Dangerous, when I knew that was coming out, straight away I ordered myself a development kit 2, so it was a DK2 headset. Wow. Because that game from day one was built around VR. So you just had the headset turn up, and Elite Dangerous in VR is absolutely incredible. It's difficult to explain how good and the sense of scale that you get. And now I've got I bought my son a Quest 2, and I've got the original CV1 now, which I play, obviously Elite Dangerous and Half-Life Alyx and Boneworks. Absolutely love those games.
So it is something that I wanted to get into myself at some point, VR, because I don't have it at the moment. My son has it, but he won't let me borrow it. So that's that.
I've wanted VR since the Lawnmower Man.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, the Lawnmower Man.
Yeah.
Did the Lawnmower Man put you off though?
I didn't. You know, when a sequel comes out and you're like, no, I ain't watching that. You know, like Speed 2 or something. I've changed the actor, not watching it.
I wanted to move on, and one of the things that gets me about your channel sort of straight away is you're so Spectrum, mate. Spectrum. There's a lot of Spectrum, especially recently.
Yeah. That's because of the Spectrum Next. That's it's brought back my love of Spectrum, because as I say, I left the Spectrum world for an Atari ST, and then once I got my Amiga, that was it. Then I didn't even look at the Spectrum again. But how many years has it been now since the Next? It's probably been about four years now, has it? The next came out.
What did you start off with? Did you start off with one of the OG 48K Spectrums? Did you go that way?
Yeah, I still have my Specker here, which I've just recently refurbished it. Wayne Retro Robbins, he did a full electronics test on it for me, and he did a modulator mod on it, so I could use it on a composite signal. Yeah, swapped the keyboard membrane out on it, cleaned all the case up, brought a new plate,
Right.
some new feet, and that's it. Good to go. Good to go.
That's pretty nice. And is that something that you're going to ever boot up again, or is that just for show now?
No, I've already done some videos with it. I've still got my Spectrum Plus as well, and my favourite Spectrum is, just unplug it, is my toast rack. So it's the Spectrum Plus 1 to 8. So it's that design, and you can see that you got the toast. It's called the toast rack because of this big heat sink on the outside there.
Right.
But that has always been my favourite Spectrum. Absolutely love the toast rack.
It's nice. You could beat someone to death with that. It's nice and heavy.
But again,
the one with the tape deck on, was that was the 1 to 8, wasn't it?
Well, that one I've just showed you, the toast rack, is a 1 to 8. When after the 1 to 8, Sinclair made a QL for they tried to advertise it as a business machine, and then once Sinclair was on its way out, that's when Amstrad took over, and that's when the Plus 2 with the tape deck came out. That was the Amstrad model, and there was 3. I think there was 3 revisions of that one. There was like a light grey one, and then there was an A and a B of the darker grey version of that. But
so how many versions of the Spectrum do you own now?
I own, so I've got the original 48, I've got the Plus, I've got the 1 to 8, I've got the Plus 2, and obviously I've got the Spectrum Next. But there was a Plus 3 as well, which was a disk drive version. Never really bothered to get that one, if I'm honest. But my new baby is the is the Specky Next, which I'll just unplug and give you a quick look. So the Spectrum Next is what the way they've designed this is as if it was the next Spectrum before Amstrad took over. So
right,
it's, there you go. So you got
that looks pretty
real nice keyboard, and you've got it's full FPGA. You've got a few modern connectors on there, but they've kept it with so you've got a PS2 connector there. Yeah. So they've tried to keep it retro. PS2 connector there, so that supports a mouse and a keyboard.
Yeah.
You've got a VGA connector there. But then
VGA.
you've also got audio out and audio in. You've got HDMI there. And this has also got a Raspberry Pi in there. And then what that allows you to do at the moment is to load up games pretty much instantly. So it almost acts as like a virtual tape player. So it will grab the tap file and then play back really quick, and then within seconds it loads up.
So the tap file is the actual game file, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
basically
I did see it on your videos. You had a little gizmo that connects to it. The tape. What is that called? The tape thing. I do have it on here somewhere.
Right.
It's
So
your last video was about it.
yes. Now that is a project that I've been involved in with a guy called Richard Sherman. And we've got a Facebook group, and it's basically Next Launcher, and it's some software that you can put onto your Spectrum Next, and it acts like a front end. So if you've ever hacked, say, an original Xbox or a Nintendo Wii, and you get all that nice, lovely software, it's similar to that, and it allows you to add your own games to it. And he's added some other things on there. He's added like a little virtual assistant that talks to you, and it's really cool. And it also supports this device called the ZX Retro Wireless.
That's the thing I was looking at.
Yeah, and it's basically it's a bit of like retro. Well, basically, it's a Bluetooth device, but it's been put into this case to give it that retro feel. And what this allows you to do is you can use your mobile phone, and you can let's say you've got some Spectrum games, and you can basically load them from your phone over Bluetooth to this device, plugged into your Spectrum, and pretend you've got a tape player. So it really is cool. It's got some other nice little features on there. It's got like a sound to light.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. So it really is awesome. This is a preview version of it. But
so you're going to be updating people on your channel about that as you go, I should imagine.
Yeah, I've made a playlist section, if you like, just dedicated to that software and to that device. But it was nice to be involved in an outside project.
I mean, I've seen a bunch of your videos, like I said, and to somebody that's I'm not nowhere near into Spectrum as much as some of you guys are. I do not own a Spectrum even, and it's been a long time since I've played Spectrum games. But because I run YouTube Connect, obviously, like, rub shoulders with a bunch of guys that are really into the Spectrum scene. Ginger Hippy, who we've mentioned earlier, amongst them. So I'm getting to know that there is a big Spectrum community. Plus, on the other side, there's a big Commodore 64 community as well. And they sometimes clash a little bit in the middle. But I'm starting to learn that they exist. That these people exist that are deeply into these machines and will love them for a long time, and will spend their time and money on it.
Well, back in the day, I mean, in the playground, you had, once the old consoles were gathering dust, and people started having the 8-bit computers, you had people with Spectrums, Commodore 64s, and Amstrads. So there was always that little bit of playground rivalry, if you like.
Yeah.
But I think now, as we've all got older, we all appreciate all those machines. I mean, I certainly do.
That's right.
I've got a Commodore 64 just behind me, which it's the bread bin version. I've got like a cartridge in the back with an SD card in it, so I can just instantly load games off it. Absolutely love the 64, but mainly for the SID chip. Love the SID chip.
See, I was more of a Commodore fan. I started with a VIC-20 and then went into Commodore 64 and then Amiga. So I knew friends that had Spectrums, but there wasn't really a rivalry when I was young. The only kind of rivalry that sort of happened was when you got the Xbox and PlayStation, and there was two different crowds there that vehemently didn't like each other for some reason. And like I was the type of person was like, well, why can't you just have both? Why not?
I've never been interested in the whole rivalry. There's always good and bad, no matter what machine you have.
I think as you get older. Sorry, go on.
I think it's got to the stage now where it doesn't matter what you have now, because the game comes out on all platforms. I tend to steer towards the Switch now, because the Switch is such a great modern retro platform, and you get a lot of original games on that system. And it doesn't even try to compete with the big boys, and it's all right having all the games are becoming too real now, to the point where they're not games anymore. They're not fun.
What do you mean by too real? Do you mean in terms of graphics, or do you mean terms of the subjects that they're covering?
I think all that subjects they're covering, and even though they look amazing, and you think, oh wow, that is so realistic, there's too much hand holding as well, I think, in a lot of modern games. I like a game to be fun, and I like the old couch gaming that we used to have, where your mate would come round and you'd have a quick game of, I don't know, on the Amiga you'd play Battle Squadron or International.
Yeah, and it really is it's a quick game. It really is an half-hour game that you don't have to invest or half your month into to play. One of my gripes about modern gaming, as much as it looks great and the graphics are brilliant, I really can't get into a game where it takes me two hours or so to set it up before I've even started playing or going into any servers and so on.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love my modern gaming. I still love, I still look to see what's out there. I mean, I'm a massive PC gamer. It's just that Elite Dangerous tends to take priority over that. I recently started playing the remake of Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation 4. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing, that is. That blew me away how good that was.
I was a big Resident Evil fan back in the day.
Yeah.
Sometime after 4, I think.
Oh, I love 4.
Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, go on. Sorry, you were saying?
I was just going to say, I ended up playing 4. I think it was I played the GameCube version, but on a Nintendo Wii. Yeah.
I think, what was it? PlayStation 2 version for me, I think. Yeah, it must have been PlayStation 2. Oh. Yeah, I'll go with PlayStation 2 version. Yeah. And before we carry on, I wanted to attempt to play another video, and this is I say attempt, so everybody keep your fingers crossed, because it didn't seem to work properly before. But this is from Rega. This is Rega's Spotlight, so we're going to throw this up and see what happens.
Awesome. It's me, Rega. I'm back with another Spotlight from the wonderful YouTube Connect. Thank you very much, TEZZ, as always. It's always a pleasure being with you. The sponsorship money came in, and we're getting a new studio built. I know it's not much at the moment, but it's got potential. I hope it's got potential, because otherwise it's going to be, very sad me, because we spent all the money on a building which we're not going to do much with. So please send more money so we can make it even better. Yeah. So enough of that. What am I here? Of course, I'm here for this week's Spotlight, and this week's Spotlight is AF Man Creations Spray Paint Art, or AFMAN. I'm not sure. I probably completely butchered that, so apologies. This guy makes amazing, absolutely amazing spray paint artwork. It's absolutely incredible. It's just within minutes. He's just watching is mesmerizing. Seriously, he did like a Top Gun one the other week, and I was just like, what? Are you serious, dude? That's amazing. I have like no way I could do anything like that. So definitely check this guy out. It's absolutely awesome. So yeah, definitely, guys, go and have a watch his channel, and it's really cool. So please send us money so we can actually build this studio. So back to you in the studio, Tez. See you later, guys. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.
That's our good friend Rega there. He's good fun. He's proper into his
cool.
VR.
Yeah, that's cool, that is.
And that was a shout out for Afman Creations. Go and check out his stuff on YouTube Connect. I highly rate him as a spray paint artist, and he's getting better with every picture that he's doing, every piece that he's doing. I'd love to own a piece of his work. I really would. He does have an Etsy shop. If anybody's interested in going and supporting him by buying one of his pieces, that is available. Just visit his page. His link to his Etsy shop is there, plus his other links and socials and so on. So yeah, go and visit that guy. Afman Creations, everybody. That's Rega's spotlight for this week. I did notice during that the video came off okay. There was a bit of stuttering though. It could be that I'm recording them in 1080. It could be. Maybe I'll drop it down to 720 next time and see if that makes a difference, because I don't know what's stopping them. I don't know what's making them jutter. It's a bit of a pain. Can't figure it out. Every time I do a live stream, something has to go wrong. Something. Just having a look in the chat, I've noticed that Generation Pixel has popped in.
Hey.
There he is.
Okay.
Oh, no, he's bagging on the game that we liked.
I don't remember there being anything wrong with the controls. I wonder what was wrong with the controls.
I don't remember it being a problem really, but I mean, it was a while ago since I played it.
I mean, I was playing with the GameCube pad, so maybe it was okay on that. I don't know.
Rega, did you get a haircut? See, Rega's getting his own fans. I think Rega's going to become more popular than me, and Rega might be taking over the show at some point, and I might be in the little box in the corner, and Rega's being the big box. Yeah, so he's definitely got his fans, Rega has.
Yeah.
Did he get an haircut? I think he did this week. He's going to get a massive haircut one of these days. So what we got? So Scares, he's popped into the chat room. That's good. Remember, guys, drop your links to each other in the chat room. It's a community event. Everybody's free to drop their links. So some people just get a bit iffy about it at times, which is fair enough, but I don't mind. Who else we got? Rega Gaming Seat still here supporting. There he is. Good lad. He enjoyed that. We've got one more video to go, so we'll play that just before the end. It is one that we don't want the kids around for, so we'll wait till the end. Just a bit more about what you do on your channel. Well, where are we? I'm actually looking at a bit of a script here, so if I'm stopping, it's because I'm trying to read something. Skateboards, that's it. We're going to talk about your martial arts and skateboards. Come on, tell us more about that. Martial arts, so you can kick ass, mate.
Yeah, I started karate when I was 11. And then I did it all the way up to I was 17, I think, and I think I was a blue belt by then.
Blue belt.
And then I didn't do it again until many years after, in my 20s. Went back and then trained all the way until I got my second dan. So second dan black belt.
Second dan. Would you just explain to people what dan means? So when you go for your first and your second dan, so you get your black belt and then you go for your dans after. I've always been a bit confused and didn't understand it myself. So what does going for your first and second dan mean?
Well, the correct answer is once you've got your black belt, that's basically to show that you have took everything in over the years and you've learnt everything. But
essentially, it's still a beginner.
Essentially, basically, the way it works is you then get your black belt, and that's when you start. That's when you start to apply everything that you have learnt over the years. And the way I think the way the Japanese look at it is as soon as you start training and you get your different dans over the years, it can take a lifetime. Basically, if you're black belt, as soon as it starts to turn white, that's when you know everything. Once it's white, and
so you go from white to white, then do you?
That's the whole philosophy of it, yeah. But a lot of people, a lot of martial artists, once they get to a black belt, they stop doing it. They think, "Oh, that's it now. I've got my black belt,
Yeah,
and I know everything." But you don't. You know nothing. That's when you start to learn, and that's when things start to click in your head, and all that training that you've done over the years is what allows you to move in certain ways. Your speed, your power, all that comes from all that training.
So would you say then that up to black belt is your competency level, and the black belt shows how far you've got in the competency of learning what you've been taught, and then everything from that point onwards is how you use it and the wiseness of it? So
pretty much
more of the theoretical understanding of what you're doing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So it becomes more of a philosophical state at that point.
Yeah, definitely. It's when once you've got your black belt, that is when you start to learn. So yeah, and I've done it for years. I've done it for years. It's only quite recently. Well, I stopped doing it, and then I tried out Aikido for a couple of years because that complemented, because that's a Japanese martial art as well that complements karate, because there's quite a bit of Aikido already in karate, so that complemented that quite nicely, and learning how to use the boken and various different weapons and the bow staff, the Joe. So that was
how many different disciplines have you had a go at?
So mainly karate and Aikido. I used to do fencing as well when I was at school. I used to love that. Fencing, yeah.
Fencing. That comes in useful nowadays. Like with lightsaber skills, you can transfer it over, mate.
Yeah.
You imagine fencing with lightsabers. That would look so sick.
but a lot of the samurai sword techniques was also used in the weapon training within Aikido as well, using the boken. So that was good fun. So yes, I did that for a couple of years. Then I went back to karate again to another school. But that's when my injuries started to kick in. Unfortunately, well, getting old, arthritis kicks into your hips and sciatica. And
that's it. All the bits and bobs start to go. Need a bit more oiling, mate. That's what it is. A bit more WD-40 than usual.
That's it. But I got my son into it, and he started doing it. He got up to blue belt, and he's brilliant. And I'm just waiting for him to go back now, because unfortunately, once he got his blue belt, that was when COVID hit.
Yeah. So it slowed everything.
Slowed everything down, yeah. And he's got back into his skateboarding now. So he's
while doing all this martial arts stuff and getting your belts, did you enter any major competitions around the place?
When I first started doing karate, I was entering competitions, but I didn't like it much. To be fair, it wasn't real life, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So to
I'm not very competitive,
right.
so
I see.
it didn't fit in with why I was learning a martial art.
So for you, it was much more about the discipline of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, like most people, I started martial arts because I was picked on at school, and wanted to be able to look after myself, and that was one way of doing it, I suppose. But
and have you ever had to use it to defend yourself in a serious situation?
Yeah, maybe a little bit in a few nightclubs back in the day, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I knew a guy that was really into his martial arts once, and I said, "What's the best way to win a fight?" And he went, "To be honest, the best way, run."
That's one of the at the end of the day, any martial art that you learn, it just gives you a percentage of an advantage.
That's right.
But if somebody comes up to you with a knife or a gun and they say, "Give me your wallet," just give them your wallet and go home, because it's no good trying to be a hero. Because if you're dead, then you're dead, aren't you?
Everybody was into the old films, the Bruce Lees and the Steven Seagals and that, and you start to believe that, oh, if I know that kind of stuff, that I'm kind of untouchable and invincible. But it's rarely the case, and fights never turn out the way that you expect.
There will only ever be one Bruce Lee. I'm a
big fan.
huge fan of Bruce Lee.
Love Bruce Lee, mate. Love him.
Not just his martial arts, but his whole philosophy on life.
Yeah.
I've tried to integrate a lot of his ways of thinking into my own life and my own martial art journey, really.
It was definitely inspirational. I mean, even me, when I was a kid, I didn't go into martial artists, but you got that 30-minute buzz after watching a Bruce Lee film where you thought that, yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that.
Well, back in the 80s, every film was martial arts, wasn't it? I mean, you had all your Bruce Lees. Well, even before then, you had Bruce Lee, and you had Chuck Norris.
Before that, and the Jackie Chan stuff as well. Yeah. And then the days back in the 80s, we had some. They were cheesehead, but they were fast action, and especially the Jackie Chan stuff. That was well choreographed stuff, and even.
And the thing is, even though we were watching it in the 80s, a lot of those martial art films were made in the 70s. We were just catching up.
Yeah, the Harvest films, weren't it, from Hong Kong? They had a backlog of stuff that we all got dumped with in one go. As soon as Bruce Lee became famous, everybody just wanted it.
Mm. Yeah. And then obviously when Van Damme came out and Steven Seagal, it started off that whole martial art genre again, like the American Ninja films and what was that female martial Cynthia Rothrock?
Cynthia Rothrock.
Yeah, do you remember her?
Do you know that she beat Steven Seagal in a tournament fight?
It would surprise me.
She did. Apparently she battered him. Yeah, you know how everybody knows the story. Seagal, he's a bit of a nutter. He talks a lot of crap as well. Even amongst the martial arts community, people just hate him for the amount of crap that he piles out. That he's a master of this and a master of that, and really he's just a bad actor.
It's a shame, really, because I liked Steven Seagal up to. His early films, Nico and Hard to Kill. And,
Hard to Kill.
What was the other one? He did Under Siege as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Under Siege 1 and 2.
Yeah, I like Steven Seagal. And he's highly respected in Japan. He's like one of the highest levels in Aikido possible.
Yeah, but that's just because he's a movie star. That's just because they're enamored by him more than anything else.
Yeah.
Everybody else sees him for what he is.
Yeah.
It's a shame, though. He did have potential.
There's no denying that he knows what he's doing. He's a good martial artist.
Yeah.
He gets a bad rep, but unfortunately, because of his attitude and the way
He doesn't know when to shut up.
yeah, and it's just ruined him. But if you go onto YouTube and look at some of his old Aikido videos before he was an actor, you can see how good he is.
Yeah,
he's
that's when he
definitely
kept
legit.
himself fit,
Mm.
because he let himself go. He kept himself
Oh,
fit, and he was good at what he did. It looked
Yeah.
good, even on film. Like you say, those Nico films. He moved in such a way, like, and it was, all of his moves were so devastatingly painful to watch as well. You just didn't see it anywhere else. But then,
Yeah.
as he sort of like became more and more famous, he lost his attitude, went to pieces, and he let himself go as well. And now he's just. Hey, hang on a minute. I've got my cat talking. Behave.
I kept looking. I thought it was mine.
No, it's my little phantom, my ginger one. Like he's going on about something. Can you wait, please? It's over soon. So chill out. Don't you set him off with those noises.
Want some food?
So yes, I think we've pretty much covered most of your stuff. The martial arts is very interesting. You're a fellow guitarist. You're a cat dad like me. I think we didn't go into skateboards. What do you do with skateboards? That's interesting. I didn't get that story.
Well, I used to be a skateboarder when I was 11 up to about 15. I taught my son how to skate, the start off of it. But I work at a skate shop, so that's where my skateboarding comes into it. Really, I don't skate anymore.
No, but you know what you're talking about when you're selling the bits and pieces and so on. That's pretty cool, man, to work in a skate shop. That seems like a proper 90s film type of career to have. But it all goes down there, mate.
We're actually quite big. We're not just a shop. We've got about 6 or 7 warehouses, absolutely full of stock.
Oh, wow.
We do everything from skates, scooters, all the protection gear, bikes, but yeah, mainly skateboards.
Sammo Hung. We didn't even mention Sammo Hung. Yeah.
Sammo Hung. Is that? Is he the one who was in Enter the Dragon?
No,
Bolo. Is that Sammo Hung?
No, that wasn't him. This is the what's it? He was in a few American things as well. This Sammo Hung. Don't think he was in that film though. Can't remember right now what he was in.
Somebody name a Sammo Hung film.
Yeah, come on, Generation Pixel. Let us know which one is it. Just name one of his big films. Or there's a TV show that he was in, an American TV show. As Ginger here, cheers, buddy. Thanks. Yeah, we're having a bit of fun here. we did experience a few technical difficulties, but we've managed to creep along.
Did a lot with Jackie Chan. Okay.
Yeah, he did some movies with Jackie Chan. He was around the Harvest films quite a bit.
I can't remember him. I was too fascinated with Bruce Lee, so yeah.
So I think before I let everyone go, I'm just going to play this last mandated bit of movie from our sponsors this week. So I'm just going to throw this up.
Oh God, I'm gonna have diarrhea again. You can't go to the bathroom. You're stacking Sunder Armor. It's okay. Mom, bathroom.
What, hon?
Bathroom. Bathroom.
Oh, that's a big boy, isn't he?
All right, can you drink your elixir of the mongoose? I'm now going to use Mocking Blow.
Well, that's I don't know whether I'm going to get hung for that or not. So that's what our Twisted Minds came up with this week. That was our sponsors. Man packs, everybody. Sticks up for you when others won't. It's fun making these little things. And if anybody in the group wants to throw a line and have a go and join in, you're welcome to. Just come and let me know. If you've got an idea. What? Let me have a look. Sure, he was an Ip Man. Oh, I do. Donnie Yen, he's another one. You can't.
Oh,
What about Donnie Yen?
Love the Ip Man films. Absolutely love the Ip Man films. Yeah.
Yeah. So you say Bruce Lee, but would you say that Donnie Yen is like he's got to be a descendant of that disciple? Descendant of that discipline.
Well, Ip Man was Bruce Lee's.
He was his
original
mentor.
teacher. Yeah, for Wing Chun.
Yeah, the Wing Chun.
Mm.
So do you think that Donnie Yen took a lot from the movie and became more Donnie Yen from that? Because let's face it, in the Western world, he wasn't as well known until Ip Man came along.
Yeah, maybe.
Then all of a sudden, like Donnie Yen was everybody, and everybody was looking at Donnie Yen stuff. And he is very good at what he does. I love watching his moves. He's so cracking. He's so instant, and he seems like he's the calmest. He's very calm at what he does. Yeah,
he's pure Wing Chun, isn't he?
The thing is, you watch him and you actually believe that he could seriously harm you, like if you said something wrong to him.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome, isn't he?
Yeah, I do. I like him. He's a good lad. What else have we got? No, we've not got a film yet, so we're just gonna have to leave it at that. So, what did you think to the sponsor this week? Yeah, I'm asking.
Are you asking me? Yeah, really good. Yeah, really good.
Did you see last week's sponsor?
I don't know if I did. Did I see last week's
sponsor? Might bring last week's sponsor back. We might be working with them again, so you'll have to keep an eye out for that. Last week's sponsor was Turf Dark ZPN, and they look after all your internet needs. So you'll have to keep an eye out for them. They might be making a comeback. It's been a pleasure talking to you, mate. It's been good fun.
Oh, mate, it's been awesome. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I think that we've got to know you a bit better, and it's a reason for people in the group to swing by your channel and support you, especially if they're into the same sort of stuff. Like I say, if you're into Spectrum right now, this is the sort of place that you want to go. I'm interested in the mods that you've got for it, the quick load game sort of stuff and the interface stuff that you've got for the Spectrum 2. That's quite interesting. And I think I can see him in the chat now. Ginger Hippie Gaming, he'd be quite interested in that kind of stuff, and others in the group are too. I know that there's one or two that we've not mentioned tonight that are big Spectrum fans. So, see, here we go. He's a proud subscriber, mate.
Oh, I'm a proud subscriber to you as well, mate.
I didn't mention Gamers Effects. He's been in supporting. He's a good lad. He always drops by for support. So drop all your links before we go, guys, because we're about to end the stream. I just want to let everybody know what's coming up in future streams. We've got Marathon Gaming and 16 Bits and Bobs. You know 16 Bits and Bobs, right?
What was that?
Do you know 16 Bits and Bobs?
Yes.
Yeah, so I've got him and he's great, by the way. 16 Bits and Bobs, what a great guy. We've got him and Marathon Gaming going head to head in a 16-bit quiz.
Oh, so that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
that'd be really good.
And then later on down the line, at some point, I've got Retrobait, who he does a lot of quizzes himself. Also big Commodore 64 fan. I'm going to be getting him on the stream and grilling him to pay back for all those guys that lost miserably in his quizzes. So I'm going to get him on and torture him with some questions. What we got here? Rega Gaming says, "Epic stream, TEZZ. Good to see you, BAPSTARCADE."
Oh, thanks for coming on the stream, Rega. Excellent. Thank you.
Generation Pixel says YouTuber of the month is live for this month. We gave it a mention earlier on, Generation Pixel, but sure, Generation Pixel is running a YouTuber of the month. Go and check him out. The details are in the notification box on YouTube Connect. So if you remember, nip up there and have a look. All his details are there.
Excellent.
Yeah. So it's been good, mate.
We We need to see you on camera, mate. I think that's what
it's coming. It is coming. Let me get a few things sorted out, and then we'll do a subscriber thing where I hit a certain point and then just go live. I'll do it. I am actually planning on doing some videos where I'm not interviewing people, that I'm going to go around the city where I live and do some interesting interviews and bits and bobs on the scary side of things. So it's no secret that I'm a Leicester City guy because I'm a big Leicester City football fan. So yeah, Leicester's my town, and I will be showing off some of the haunted locations in Leicester. So that's something that's upcoming on the channel. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm going to be in those. So yeah. I can't walk around animated, can I? So yeah. And people will be pointing the camera at me, so everybody's going to see me my full form at some point. Yeah. Hey. I just look more handsome with this picture. I prefer this picture. See, in this picture, your beard's grayer than mine, but in real life, my beard's probably grayer than yours.
Hiding behind it, yeah.
Hey, I love the grey beard thing. It's distinguished, mate. It's distinguished.
That picture you've got there, you've got a bit of a Gordon Freeman thing going on there, you know.
I know. I was joking last week that I do get the joke about how big the forehead is, and I was joking about how I could use it as advertising space in one of the streams. So if any sponsor wants to come and like fill that a little bit with their name, yeah, it could happen. Yeah, it's great. There's enough space there for a billboard, definitely.
There we go.
So it's been great having you on the stream. I've got to end it at some point, and this seems like a good a time as any. Maybe we'll get you back sometime, mate, and we'll do it again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Again, thanks for inviting me on. It's been great fun, and
it was nice of you to offer, mate.
Shout out to everybody who's in the chat as well. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice of you to offer to come on, mate. Like I say, I do consider these early times to be victims coming on the stream rather than guests, because it can all go a bit wrong at the moment. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We'll get this better sponsors in eventually. We'll get the better money coming in, and everybody will be paid handsomely, and the content will be it'll look gorgeous, and that's just the way it'll be. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to say before I let you go, if we do get you back in the future, we could also have you on as a co-host, so we can be done with the questions and we can just take the mick out of everybody else. That'll be the best way to do it.
Sounds good.
Cool. So have a good night, enjoy yourself, mate, and we'll see you around the group. And yeah, go and check out his videos, guys. This has been BAPSTARCADE.
Cheers again. Ta-ra!
See you later, guys. Take care.